Hey everyone! Welcome to Crack the Codon. Whether you're cramming for a final or love a good intellectual dump, this is the place to be. Let's get started! Okay, so let's buckle up. Welcome to our Meiosis and Mitosis series. In the first episode, we're zooming in on mitosis, the process behind how your body makes new cells, heals cuts, and keeps things growing. Here's a short clip of how a cell actually splits into two. Now you might be thinking, what actually is mitosis? Well, let me give you a short and sweet overview. Mitosis happens in somatic cells, which are just your regular body cells. It takes place during the M phase of the cell cycle. You'll find mitosis in plants, animals, and humans. It's how living things grow and repair themselves. It starts as one diploid cell and ends with two identical diploid cells. Mitosis helps with growth and healing, and it happens in four main phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So let's dive deeper into these four phases of mitosis. To remember the order of the phases of mitosis, a lot of people use the acronym PMAT. P for prophase, M for metaphase, A for anaphase, and T for telophase. Easy way to keep the steps in order. In addition, here's how to remember mitosis in 4 words. P for prepare, M for middle, A for apart, and T for 2 nuclei. Now, let's look at it in a more visual sense. Here are the stages of mitosis. During prophase, the chromosomes are just floating around and being prepared to be pulled apart. M phase, they line up in the middle. Anaphase is when the chromosomes are pulled apart, and telophase is when they create 2 new nuclei. We should also keep in mind that during mitosis, sister chromatids are pulled apart, which can be a little bit confusing when comparing it to meiosis, but we'll get into that. Now before we hop into mitosis, let's look into chromosome anatomy. Chromosomes can look different depending on the stage of the cell cycle. On the left, that's a single chromatid before DNA replication. On the right, you've got 2 identical sister chromatids connected at the centromere after replication. Both are still called a chromosome, it just depends if it's been copied yet. So we want to keep in mind that chromosomes can refer to both a single chromatid before replication and sister chromatids after replication joined by a centromere. These chromosomes are just seen at different stages of the cell cycle. We should also note that your body cells always have 46 chromosomes even after DNA replication. Before replication, that's 46 chromosomes and 46 chromatids. After replication, it's 46 chromosomes, but now with 92 chromatids. That's because each chromosome has been copied. It now has 2 sister chromatids, but it's still counted as one chromosome until they split. This is what a cell looks like during mitosis, specifically during metaphase. The chromosomes line up in the middle, that's called the metaphase plate. The spindle fibers attach to the chromosome and help pull them apart, and the centrioles, well, they act like anchors at the end of each cell, organizing the whole process. Now, let's get into the important parts of each phase of mitosis, starting with prophase. Prophase is the prepare phase. The cell starts getting ready for division. The chromatin condenses into visible chromosomes, each with 2 sister chromatids. The nuclear envelope breaks down, making space, and centrioles move to opposite ends of the cell, and spindle fibers begin to form. The next phase is metaphase. The chromosomes line up right in the middle of the cell. This spot is called the metaphase plate. Then, spindle fibers attach to the centromeres of each chromosome to get ready for the big pull. The next phase is anaphase. The sister chromatids separate and are pulled apart towards opposite sides of the cell. This step is super important. It makes sure each new cell will get identical sets of chromosomes. And the last step of mitosis is telophase, where 2 new nuclei are created. The chromatids reach opposite ends of the cell and start to relax back into chromatin. A new nuclear envelope forms around each set, and the spindle fibers break down. At this point, the cell's almost ready to split. Just the last step is left, which is cytokinesis. This is when the cell fully splits into 2. Here is a brief overview of mitosis and the entire process it goes through. And that's it! You just learned all the phases of mitosis and an overview of what each phase has, plus the tips and tricks to remember them like a pro. Now let's test your knowledge.